there time to recalibrate for Harris, in your opinion?
Absolutely. The best example is when asked, does she have any differences with Joe Biden? She says no. The first thing she should have said is, on the border, I do disagree. I do think that we've made some mistakes, and here's how we're going to correct them. But she's not willing to do that. Hillary Clinton played it safe in the last 28 days of the election, not engaging with the press, not engaging with voters, and Harris is doing exactly the same thing, and it's going to have the same impact if she doesn't change that strategy.
And my other thought here is just, we talk a lot about persuadable voters, people that still could go back or forth. Some theories of the case are there really aren't many of those anymore. It's about turning out your voters at this point. But because she is in this unique position, Harris, being still so fresh in this race because of this wild campaign season we've had, it seems as if she's still defining herself to people. And Trump, as we just saw in that clip that Elena played leading in here, is still desperately trying to define her as well.
He's unplugged, for better or worse. He's speaking what he truly believes, for better or worse. And some voters, undecided voters, are turned off to that because they're turned off to that rhetoric. But he's actually speaking, I say this as clearly as I can, he's using language on prices and on immigration that the public responds to. It's not insane. It actually is a majority of Americans. And the Harris campaign so disagrees with it, so disagrees with the strategy and the policies, that they are miscalibrated to how to win them over. And one last point, it really isn't the undecided right now. I accept that. Those people at 3 or 4% probably won't decide. They will probably stay home, or they'll vote for a third party or write someone in. The key now is turning out your partisans. She has the most incredible, intense support among young women, 18 to 30, but Trump's vote overall is damn well determined to vote. They will stand in line. They will do whatever it takes. And even in that intensity, at this moment, he's got a very, very slight advantage.
And just before I let you go, I do want to touch on something that continues to bear out in a lot of this polling. And I would imagine, you'll tell me, in focus group as well, but this gender gap that we keep seeing show up again and again and again. What are your thoughts on that? And give us some nuance around it, beyond just there's a gender gap.
That is the question of this campaign. That's going to be what historians focus on. She has driven female vote to incredible levels, and particularly younger women. Trump has done the same for older men. So you have this conflict, and it is not just about issues. It really is about attributes, how Trump presents himself and how Harris presents herself. She is a role model for younger women. Trump is saying and almost screaming exactly what older men feel. So this is going to be a problem. Here's the issue. I'm afraid that we're not going to know who won this election on election night, and we're not going to know the next night, and we're not going to know even the night after that. CNN and organizations like yours need to start now communicating to the American people exactly how they're going to cover the campaign if we don't know for days. Because in the end, Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, those are the states that make up the election. 4 of those states probably won't have their votes counted for days. And the level of anger and division in this country is so high that we need to figure out how to deal with it now before the election happens.
Yeah, it's a good point.